You are now listening to For All Nerds Show, a podcast about geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color. For All Nerds Show is a member of the Loudspeakers Network, where we always say rest in peace to our founder, Combat Jack.
For All Nerds is hosted by Tatiana King and DJ Benhameen.
For All Nerds Show is powered by our listeners. Everything we do, from our podcasts, live events, our website, are all independently funded. Please continue to support us through our Patreon page at patreon.com/forallnerds.
Welcome to For All Nerds.
And what's up, y'all, and welcome to another episode of the For All Nerds Show, the voice of the urban geek, the podcast where we discuss geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color. And as always, in the captain's chair, it's your boy, DJ Benhameen, a.k.a. Chewbacca Khan, Lando Californication, the Riz Skywalker, Sith Happens, the Red Eye Master, Ben Flame, Handolo, Kylo Bent here in the spaceship. Tonight,
Okay.
All right,
Love it.
all right. Thank you very much. And as always, I'm joined by
Tatiana King, the Grand Duchess of Tech, also known as Lambo Calrissian, Gin and Juice Urso, Gucci Mane DeLorean, Good Grief Karga, Master Soul Train, and Moesha and Asaya.
Moesha and Asaya. Obviously, by our AKAs, we are here to discuss the finale, perhaps the series finale. We don't know at this point.
We don't know.
The Acolyte.
The Acolyte, episode 8. Listen, when we talk about a turnaround,
A flip,
you had me in the first half, not gonna lie. Like, we were not happy with this series in the beginning.
At all.
And to come out on the end, I think you said it best earlier, Ben. I mean, where you're like, you're begging them at this point to have a season 2 because they really pulled themselves out the mud with this one.
Damn sure did.
They absolutely did. This series actually became the compelling mystery that they purported it to be, because all that stuff, honestly, for the first like 5 episodes didn't even matter. It felt like almost like this kind of, and I understand at the end of the day, it's probably just all misdirection. They trying to, it matters about how did the family die, the witches, how the witches die, and this and that. All of that's kind of besides the point now, right? It's just like, it's really about the deaths of the Lows and the amount of crimes that the Jedi commit and continue to commit, and the cover-ups that happen, the secrets that happen, like on some true real life espionage type stuff, secrets of the government type stuff. You know what I mean? Like, this show has really elevated itself in the last few episodes, and now it's really given us something way more compelling than what we started with.
And it's pretty much exactly what I was looking for from the beginning of this show, was when they first told us that it would be 100 years before the events that we see in the beginning of A New Hope and all of the Star Wars that we know and love. I was like, okay, cool. So we're finally going to get to see the real origin of the Sith. Now, there's a lot of talk, and in this episode, we definitely get to see this character, and a lot of people were waiting for this, was the Darth Plagueis character, who we'll talk about in a second, but it looks like we actually saw in this episode. Now, I'm not as like super well versed in all the extended universe and the legends and all that as some people are. So I wasn't like, okay, I just wanted to see what they would show us as far as the origins of the Sith. I didn't need to see specific characters or any of that type of stuff, because I didn't really know any of that stuff like that. So I was just more looking for that. And then at the beginning of the show, we got, I don't know, it was kind of goofy. I felt like a lot of the stuff didn't really look like it should cost nearly as much as it did. I feel like they saved a lot of the good budget for the later episodes, like this one, where a lot of things look fantastic throughout the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And it just became that show where it's like, I'm really anticipating, hoping for a second season, because it's just like where Andor has become a really ill prequel show where it's leading right into Rogue One, but we really got to see the evolution of Cassian Andor as a character at the same time.
Yep.
I'm like, this, if you gave this 4 or 5 seasons, maybe and did some time jumps, you could lead this right into even the prequels. You know, you could lead this right up into where we see Senator Palpatine
Yep.
forming, you know, about to do his plan to end the Republic. And that would be like, if
Yeah.
they pull that off.
Yeah. And I know like we were joking around a lot about it last week, but there are a lot of parallels with Game of Thrones, just particularly this season of House of Dragons, when we're talking about how in that universe, the small folk, well, in this universe, you know, just how regular people get caught up in the fray of what people grasping for power. All of they end up being the cannon fodder, or they end up being the collateral damage of warring factions, if you will. In this case, we're talking about the Jedi, and then as we go down the line, then the Sith, and then you mentioned Palpatine and all these other people. Like how this continues to be this mythic battle, really for power at the end of the day, right? For power and control, and it's moving and these stories, these newer Star Wars stories, is moving it away from the very simplistic view of good and evil and black and white. This is give you that there are so many shades of gray, and there's questionable things happening. You can sit here and argue, say, well, obviously the Sith is questionable, but also questionable in maybe a positive way too. Like maybe the stuff that they doing has some people are doing has some virtue to it. Who knows, right? Same way we've realized over years that some of the shit the Jedi say they're doing from a virtual standpoint is not so virtuous, right? So I do appreciate what they're trying to, again, I said the word elevate. I do appreciate that they're trying to add another layer of complexity to Star Wars stories. It's good.
I mean, like I said, they've been done this in animation. They definitely have done this on another level in Andor. And I really feel like Acolyte in the end of it all is really, earning that same respect.
I'm so surprised, bro. Like how strong they did good. Shout out to Amandla. And obviously for me, you said it last week, Manny Jacinto carries this damn show.
Carries it.
Qimir / The Stranger, he carries this damn show.
It's insane.
And then to see now it's gonna be this team up with Qimir and Mae, bro. Oh, and salutes to Joel, our fabulous intern, who made the very pointed observation that going forward, we are now going to have Moesha and Q. When Joel said that, I said, oh my God.
Side note, we got to stop calling Joel the intern at this point. We're going to have to give...
Yeah, well, Joel keeps using that title, so I'm going to keep using that title. But Joel is a member of the For All Nerds team.
Yes,
so
family. Yes.
He's the internal family.
Integral.
Very. Yeah. So salutes to you, and also love to Luna and everyone who helps to support For All Nerds. But yeah, man, like this, I am really looking forward to what's happening. And this episode set the stage in a lot of different ways, just in terms of how good this can be. And I really do hope that from this point, they go up. Like, I really hope they don't backslide. And then we, if there is a season 2, and we get a whole like unnecessary buildup all over again. Like, just give me the goods. Just be good in the beginning, please.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that assessment, because overall, this season, like we said, did not have us in the first half, but by the end, it flipped me. And just like how the characters kind of flipped, how Mae and Osha, we didn't see the, merging that we will eventually see. We know Moesha is coming.
Yeah, no fusion high.
No fusion. But they definitely flip sides in this whole,
1,000,000%.
First season.
They did the yin yang situation, and also they confirmed what we have been saying, was that they're not twins. They're technically the same person. They're two pieces of one entity. Even though they have kind of disparate personalities, allegedly, that they're, because of what we learned about the midichlorians and their DNA and all this other stuff, they're one person. So that's why I'm just
Do they really have different personalities, or is it more a circumstance of how they were raised?
Well, now I think you see the shift, because it's like an eclipse. when those two bodies, the sun and the moon, and that's what also another euphemism that they were trying to get across. Like when the sun and moon cross over, and you see that a bit of the, I want to say personality, but a bit of the contrast of what happens with the moon and the sun, they flip, right? You said it, like, and if you like, let's be real, like we were talking about Mae was the good son, how she was acting and everything, everyone's evil, everyone's crazy, right? Versus Osha was very like happy, kind of like flighty, like, oh, well, the Jedi are so good, and now that with this forced mind wipe, which, we'll talk about if that was even necessary. With this forced mind wipe, now you have this innocent Mae situation. And now Osha, who's going full speed, I'm going to be an acolyte. So I would say they do have differing personality. Yeah, you could say it's for the circumstance, but that's how personalities are created, right? Your circumstance, how you're born,
nature
where you get
nurture.
who nurtures you, shit like that. So, and the different personality doesn't necessarily it could also mean that, how as a person you have varying sides of yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the day, depending on what the fuck's going on. So like these are just all of the different emotional states, the yin and the yang, the comedy versus tragedy mask, like that, they're all of this.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying. I would say that they don't really have that much different personalities to me. I think they both, well, initially they wanted different things. And like they said in this episode, she got what she wanted. Now she gets to be, an acolyte and not be a witch and, go on adventures off in space or whatever. But I don't know. They both kind of wanted that in a way. Like
You're right. I mean, I don't know. But see, that's the thing. I don't think Mae. I don't think Mae always wanted to be an acolyte. Like Osha's thing was about being a Jedi. And in a way, she got her wish, just not in the way you would think, right? Like you still get to wield the lightsaber, just in a different way. So whereas that
lightsaber was like, nah, baby. You done gone too far.
Osha wanted that situation in some way, shape, and form, right? Mae wanted to just be a witch. Mae wanted to be a witch and stay with her sister. That's all the fuck she wanted this whole time, to just be with her sister and they never get separated and stuff like that. Mae, because of circumstances, was like, now I gotta go death wish on everybody, right? Like there's no, you know what I mean? She if that never happened, what was Mae finna do? Mae wasn't about to leave Brendock. Like Mae was cool. Mae was happy with what she was. That's why I was just like, I mean, but to your point, like, they're just two sides of the same coin. They two sides of the same coin, man. Like, yeah, their personalities are not quite different because, when someone gets mad, your personality changes a little bit, right? When you get sad or when you get real happy, your personality changes a little bit. So it's just, they're extremes of potentially the same person, thing, being, whatever the hell they are, because we still don't really know what they are.
We still are kind of confused there. And it's like, I don't know who's going to explain it unless Coral, is still alive somewhere.
I'm saying Coral's alive. And also, I'm going to say that because that's another out that they have for season 2, that they could reintroduce her. Because what do we say? No body, no death.
Yes.
And it's plausible that when she went all Mortal Kombat smoke, that perhaps she was in the body of Kilnaka, as you call it, Kilnaka, but also maybe not. We don't see Coral die with all the other witches. That's what we were saying. Like anything. So that's one character that could stay. There's a bunch of other characters that can stay. The ninjas that is dead is Master Soul Train, my homegirl from the Matrix, Chunaka, and who's the other one?
It is Kilnaka. It's not Chunaka. It's Kilnaka.
I say Chunaka because I put Chewbacca and Kilnaka together. Chunaka. Oh, and Anakin Jr.
Torben?
Don't tell me that man Torben looked like Anakin's cousin.
Just because they got scarred faces.
No, because they look alike. You see them with the
just they
boy
white
band
and they got
hair
scarred
and
faces.
They both got the boy band hair and that little stupid.
Nigga, all the Jedi got boy band hair.
No, but this was giving. And maybe because he was so annoying, it was giving Anakin energy.
Yeah.
It was giving not little boy Anakin, but
grown man.
Teenage.
Yeah.
No, grown man. Yeah. Almost grown man.
Almost grown man. He was out there
Yeah,
slaughtering
when he had the long
children.
hair. Yeah, when he had the long hair, he was.
I mean, you pretty grown if you out there killing younglings.
Yeah.
Like, you know. I mean, no, niggas, niggas die every day,
Right.
but
Oh, and then our other faves, Jackie gone.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Jackie gone, boy.
Jackie gone. Killmonger's brother, you're gone.
Oh, Jackie though, boy, I can't. You just been episodes. I can't. That like the wop wop wop.
Yeah, Mama Say, Mama Saba, Makusa gone. The witches is gone. So why not? Why not? That's a trump card. You can use that in a lot of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Of using Coral.
And Coral's the only one who can explain certain shit.
Yeah.
Like in this episode, we see the stranger Qimir's eyes black out when he tries to take the helmet off of Shorty.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, the eyes blacked out when the witches use their power.
Against Torben. And Torben's eyes blacked out when he fell to his knees.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning
so
like so what, and I want to talk to you about that, about what that meant. Did that mean like Mae basically used that same power that Anastasia had, where she like basically pulled into Qimir's psyche or consciousness?
That's what it looked like. He was in that same weird, like Lord of the Rings gray world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that I felt like
he was in the same the One Ring world, when you put on the One Ring and the racer come up for you.
Right.
Yeah, right. He was in that world. And that was like
he was in the upside down.
Yeah, because he's in the upside down, but in the upside down his eyes were regular, but in the real world that's what happened, because the black eyes make you go into the upside down.
Correct. That's what happened to Torben, remember?
The One Ring world. I like One Ring because the
One Ring
upside down is straight red. That shit was straight gray, like the One Ring. So yeah, so I guess it's like the witches and how Osha and Mae are created is so undefined so far that it's like, sure.
The writers don't know. That's fine.
I hate that. And I'm not a stickler for rules when it comes to writing. I've definitely never been a fan of that. I think characters who have mystical powers should just have mystical fucking powers. You know what I mean? Like, whatever you need, it works out fine. As long as it's a cool story. And, there's some sort of like, we do have like, we've seen this happen before. You know what I mean? We know that the black eyes send you into the One Ring world. Mm-hmm. We don't. And we know that she's the daughter of one of these women, of two of these women at that.
Two of them, yeah. She should have some lineage and all that to them. So, right.
Yeah.
And they keep saying they need both of them to prove it. How are you going to prove that there's a verse? That's why he kept saying that. I need both of them to prove that this thing is this. I'm like, what are you talking?
Yeah, all right. Now,
what?
Now,
you going to show their medical records on screen? Like, what is your plan?
And now we have to talk about that too, because there's some like. The writing is definitely, I don't know, because Soul's motivations change throughout this episode. I guess maybe that's just desperation of things. Because at one point, Soul's about to, push the red button on Shorty.
Right.
Like when they're flying through the asteroid field, Soul flips open the thing and is ready to, I guess send some type of proton torpedo her way. Like, he was ready to dun her off.
100%. And he's a fucking maniac. Like, and I was like, wait. Didn't you need her? But now you're going to, vaporize her? Like, what?
Maybe thinking he can recover or something from the show.
I would think somebody that you're chasing is somebody that you are trying to recover. Because that's an asset. Not let's blow up the asset. Like, he got so bloodlusty. It was so strange.
But I won't say it's bloodlusty because he was, he paused. He was like,
the fact that he thought about it, Ben, you are trying to get somebody to come back because you need them for one reason or another. And you're just like, you know what? Let me flip this switch on them. Like, whoa, why is that even entering your mind as an option?
I was like, where's the tractor beam? Something. That did not feel like the tractor beam. Because if it felt the tractor beam, he would have flipped.
No. That was, Ben, you've seen enough Star Wars films.
Yeah.
That was the target lock.
Yeah.
Star Fox, you're dead type stuff, okay? That was not nothing else.
What's my man, Basil?
Listen, and that goes into what I'm about to say now, which is one thing I feel like this show will never leave behind is this level of goofiness. Like, there's still, and I'm glad that they toned it down, but I think this is the show's DNA.
Hold on. Say what you got to say, because then I got it.
Okay. I think, like I said, I think they've toned it down to how it was just levels of ridiculousness in the beginning of the first half of the season. But I feel like this show going forward, especially if it's Leslie and Friends, is going to continue to have this tinge of let's just throw some goofy shit in there just for good fucking measure. Basil being one of them.
Nigga, do that shit.
Another one. When Mae
this is what I wanted to talk about.
When Mae was running away from Soul and she hit the elevator in the thing, and she said, "See you in hell, Jedi." I hit the fucking roof.
I missed that one.
She says like it was on some Die Hard type, 80s movie, and I was just like, why would they have her say that? Because she said it with like a straight face, like she was on SNL. See you in hell, Jedi. Then press the button to go in the escape pod. I was just like,
well, that's also Amanda with a straight face, so you know.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe it was the way she delivered it, but I felt like it was intentional because Amanda's also a smart actress as well. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Like, they knew that shit was goofy, and I feel like this show will never leave that.
See, that's not even what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about when Mae and Osha are fighting, and she says to the droid, to Pip, like, help me. And the nigga sprays her in the face. Like,
Pip says, nah, nigga, I'm evil now. Squirt.
Oh, I forgot though. You're right. That nigga did get his shit.
Remember, he got the red eyes. And you know the only reason, I know for a fact, we are both writers, the only reason they turned Pip's eyes red so you can see the difference of when he was with Mae versus when he's with Osha.
I forgot that nigga had flipped. And nigga's like, bitch, I don't know you like that.
Man's flipped like a pancake, okay? And he said, bitch, I don't... Mae's my bitch. Who is you?
Yeah, nigga said, who is you?
That's the same Pip did the same thing to Osha that he did to Mae before Mae refreshed his rebooted him, did the hard reset. He like squirted water in her eyes or whatever.
I know, but that's just hilarious to me that nigga was like, nah, ain't that easy. Like,
goofy.
Like, I'm really like, is it because he's smaller? Is that they're getting away with this? Because if R2D2 or C3PO at any point could have just been flipped on the Rebels, it would have been a wrap.
That happen or almost happened before with one of these. This happens all the time with the bots. Like on the earlier Mandalorian episodes where originally that bot that wanted to like basically kill them all, he got reprogrammed. Bots get flipped all the time.
See, but that's more recent. They never talked about flipping C3PO or R2D2.
But you know what?
C3PO gets blown apart and doesn't get flipped.
Well, my thing is, I think that's logic, right? Like, it's a programmable being. You should be able to program it any way, one or the other, right? Like, if I capture you, I'm going to use you as a mole.
Of independent thought. Like, that's what
Not when you get a hard reboot to the ass. No, you can't.
I guess so.
No, you can't. I just press your reboot button. What you gonna do now?
Be evil with you.
Red eyes and all.
How did he know to be evil? Or is it just as
you press not even be evil. It's not even be
like,
evil. It's he aligns with whatever my owner wants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I see my owner going through it with this other bitch. I'm like, oh no. Like,
I'd be mad at C3PO.
I'm helping out my owner.
I'd be so tight if they just flipped C3PO or R2D2 like that. Especially because in the comics, there is a evil C3PO and an evil R2D2. And they are two of the most terrifying characters.
So that means you have seen it. It wasn't in film, but you have seen it.
No, but they weren't flipped. No, they weren't flipped. These are two different niggas.
Oh, like that.
Yeah, they're the same droid shape, but they're okay. They're both black and they're two different, and they are like horrifying monsters.
It's the same premise though.
Of course, they're both black folks.
Your favorite droid turned on the Sith side, but it is what it is. But no, I think, and also, as I'm thinking about it, yes, all the Star Wars films try to have some comedy in them whatsoever.
Oh, yes.
It is what it is, especially when it comes to droids. But I just mean even the people themselves was just saying to the very last season finale, they saying the most goofiest stuff.
A lot of that is callbacks. Like, I'm sure somebody has said that before
somebody.
And you want to talk goofy, Harrison Ford, Han Solo, it's one of my favorite lines in all of cinema, not the Star Wars, but in The Empire Strikes Back, when he's about to go out and look for Luke out, who's freezing to death out in the Hoth Iceland. He's like, I'll go out there, I'll find him. And some rando rebel who's there in the base with him is like, then, you'll freeze to death looking for him. And this nigga turns to him and says, then I'll see you in hell. It's like, nigga, what? I'm trying to look out for you, fam. And you just told me
why are you so upset?
I'll see you in hell.
There is something where a clone
So that's
says,
Star Wars.
There is something on Star Wars where a clone says to a character, see you in hell, Jedi. Like,
yeah, see?
It's been said, and I knew it had to have been said before, but someone has said it. Han Solo has said it, then I'll see you in hell. You just...
Yeah, no, that's the one.
that.
And I'll see you in hell. That's the, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because this nigga's really trying to look out for this nigga. And he tells him, I'll see you in hell.
Yeah, so it's callbacks and stuff, and it's still funny.
To make it worse, that dude probably gets blown up in the next scene. So it's like, that dude is really in hell while Han Solo's chilling.
And we see what happens to Soul. Soul enters in Soul. Now, I have a question for you. Since this is High Republic and this is
She
so
did
far...
see him in hell. And he got killed without a weapon. It was all poetic.
I have a question for you. Since this is so far back in the time, and this is High Republic time, was Mae the first Force user to do a Force choke?
Nah, because wasn't Qimir choking niggas before that? Didn't Qimir come with the choke first?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I thought he did. I think he did come with the
Well,
Force
I guess
choke.
maybe in such a dramatic and prominent way in front of everybody.
I think it was more dramatic because it was her doing it and because you don't see her hand doing it at first. The nigga just falls to the ground where you're wondering who is Force choking this nigga. And then her hand raises up and you're like, oh no.
I was laughing. I said, that's what you get, nigga. You need to be paying for your crimes. So
yeah, I mean.
It's time.
And it was a long, extended choke out, too. Like they let you linger on Soul's face as he is getting choked out. That shit was dark. That was like almost Joffrey levels of choke
and
out.
that's, you know what? That's okay because I had said, I hope this show, and in a way it did. I hope it doesn't end on a good note for who it doesn't need to end on a good note for. You understand?
No, we said that.
Yeah, like you got to come to terms, my guy. Right? You got to have a come to Jesus moment. And unfortunately, Jesus is going to send you down. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
I'll see you in hell, Jedi.
You know what I'm saying? And I do appreciate that, when in the beginning with the foreshadowing, when Osha said that she saw a vision when she had the helmet on. She saw the vision. She thought she saw her sister doing the dirt, and it was really her. But in reality, she did see her sister because they're all the same person.
There you go.
It's a lot of shit.
And like I said, it was quite poetic because, he was looking for somebody to kill the last Jedi without a weapon, and she murdered that nigga without a weapon. And it was like, sold American over there.
Yes.
I'll buy that for $1.
Ben.
That's my acolyte.
Ben, when
quarterback.
When Qimir and Osha was leaving the little Philippine planet, who was that came out the little cave? He looked like one of the senators that was on the the VR with Venestra with Gamora when he was. Remember when episodes back?
You know what?
Was that the same guy? Was that the same senator?
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
No, it's not the same senator.
That's not the same senator. Okay, I remember there was like one of those alien-looking type senators, and he was just like. He was trying to say, oh, it's no big deal. Somebody's getting uppity in the council, which I think he was referring to the black man. But I thought it was the same guy. And I do know that the internet is saying that could be Darth Plagueis.
Yes. And
you got to talk about that because I don't know shit about that.
The one thing I'm trying to find out is if he is that same race of aliens. Yes. Darth Plagueis is a Mun. And they ran the banking, but that was the Trade Federation. So I don't think they're the same actual race, but I could be wrong there.
No, they do look different.
Yeah, they do look different. The Muns do look different.
Well, this is funny because I'm actually on like one of those fandom wikis.
Yep.
And they use the image that we saw in the show of man's like peering in the cave. Yeah. They use that image and say that that's him.
Oh, yeah, that's Plagueis. Yeah, no, okay. As far as who he is, that most people are assuming, and due to the timeline, everything, his look, and him looking like a Mun, which Plagueis in the legends is that this is Darth Plagueis. Now, Darth Plagueis, I think it's Plagueis. Could be wrong.
Whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
Plaque.
Yeah, Darth Plaque. There, Darth Play out here is Play is
Darth Play all day.
yeah. Darth Play is out here. He is the basically he is the master who trains Palpatine. So he is, that's his acolyte. So he's like the dude before him. And he's mentioned even in Revenge of the Sith when Palpatine talks to Anakin and says, have you ever heard the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise? And he is the one who has power over life and death, which is like something that's what I was talking about before with the whole witches and them being able to create life. It's like, what? And that's also a fan theory is that Plagueis created Anakin because we still don't know how Anakin exactly was created. It's like his mother gives birth because of the Force. So we still haven't seen exactly what it is. So that's a fan theory that Plagueis is the one who created Anakin. And so now this is the first time that we're actually seeing him in the Star Wars universe. He's always been in the extended universe. There's a whole novel about him. He's been in comics, all kind of things, but we've never seen him in the what is now canon Star Wars universe. And so that seems to be him. Now, my question is, what the fuck was this nigga doing for the whole series? When
he was just hiding out.
When is that Mae or Osha? Which one's with him at that point?
Osha is with Qimir / the Stranger.
Okay. When Osha and Qimir are about to kiss, is he sitting back there with some popcorn do it
now
first.
Kiss.
Yeah. Where has this nigga been? You know what I mean? Is my man making him soup too and leaving it out for him? What is their relationship? Another big hint that this is Plagueis is that they're in a Cortosis mind. That's what that's what the helmet's made from, and so that's what it is. And that's also a reference that Plagueis owned a Cortosis mind. So yeah, it seems to be him. What he's been doing this whole season, I don't know. Why the stranger wants the power of 2 when he already has the power of 2, if that is his master, which I assume has to be his master. Also, what's the relationship between, we still don't know exactly, between Qimir and Jedi Gamora, Venestra, because Venestra knows this nigga, sensed him as soon as she came to the planet, says, you here, still alive. She's the one with the whip. Well,
we know enough because we know Qimir was Gamora's Padawan at some point because she literally says that was one of my pupils because when Mae, Mind Wipe Mae comes to her and she was like, who is this? She said, I'm looking for this guy. And she says, who is he? And she says, Gamora says that used to be one of my pupils. So I'm like, okay, that was one of her Padawans that she fucking whipped for some reason or another.
I don't think so. I think that's, a red herring again.
You think red herring? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think she was the one who whipped him. I think her having a whip and him having whip stars is just not, a bad coincidence for him, I guess.
You sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
I mean, well, okay, again, at the same time, I could be wrong there because
why
this show has...
Why can't the overseer with the whip be the one?
Yeah, this show has, before I would say, oh, the Jedi don't do shit like that. But this show is showing you that there is a lot of gray areas to what the Jedi or what a Sith would do.
Why would she say, oh, why are you still alive? Because that girl whipped him into fucking churned butter and thought that was the end of that.
She tried to dump that nigga in Lake Minnetonka or something.
Yes. So, I don't know. And then, also with Venestra, as I said earlier about just how corruption goes and it could be seen as good or bad, depending on who's it for. The fact that Gamora is being secretive and also continuing the lies, right? When she talks to the council and tells them the story of what happened, she tells them, once again, hilarious.
Mae started the fire.
she tells them generally the truth, and then at the end, to protect Mae, she's like, oh yeah, and that nigga Soul did everything. He killed all the Jedi at the end. He killed Trinity in the Matrix and all the other stuff. And I was like,
she hides the existence of Qimir.
She has the existence of Qimir, and she has the existence of Mae as well. Maybe not the existence of Mae, but they make it seem like Mae got nothing to. I don't even like. Obviously, they know Mae is there, but she make it like Mae got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and because of that also protects the canon that people were worried about because the council still don't know that there are Sith out there.
Right, and this is actually good from a writer's perspective because this is adding depth to what what was originally just maybe a simplified view of this world. Then you can start retconning things, and then you can actually, like, to your point, you can start maintaining canon, but also being able to tell a story that's related to it without upsetting what the not the prime directive, but what do they call it in Marvel? What the prime timeline is, right? Like, yeah, this is the timeline, but there are some branches. The sacred timeline. There's the sacred timeline, but then there's some branches that y'all don't know about that shit happened, but it got covered up.
Yep.
So that's a way that you can fulfill both masters in terms of the people like us are like, give me something fucking new, and then the people who are constantly crying about, why are you changing the story and this and that?
Yes.
Like, well, the story is technically still the same, but there were things that were happening, just like what we saw with Rogue One. There were things happening that we had no idea was happening, and there was people getting killed and stuff, going on, just like in real life. There'd be Black Ops missions going on right the fuck now that you have no idea, but it maintained something, right?
Yep.
So same thing, same situation.
Yeah. No, and it's like I say, like, we didn't think this was that well done, but now I'm really enjoying it. And I really, really am enjoying, like I say, the gray areas that they've been showing with the Jedi, because it really works out so much better. It's enriching what we see in Clone Wars and all that now, because it's like they've been fucking up. The Senate has been like, yo, y'all need an internal investigation. One day, one of y'all could wild out. And
Clapping
who's
up
going to
for
stop
that black man? Thank you. I'm glad it was a black man pulling up like Eli Pope, and he read Gamora.
Yo, that side eye when that nigga walked out the room and that nigga did the
like a black father.
Nigga said, "May the force be with you."
He said he came in there like the Allstate guy. He said, Jedi are an unchecked power. They pose as a religion. They're a delusional cult. They project image of goodness and restraint, but y'all niggas gonna snap any second. And then he said the line, he says, when you're looking up to heroes, you do not have to face what's right in front of you. And I said, damn it! The black man with the wisdom. I appreciated that. He basically said, you'll be hearing from my attorney, and dipped out.
And that's Martian Manhunter, right?
Yes, that's Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, from the Flash universe.
The CW series.
Yes. Fantastic to see him again. He looks great. And like I said, that side eye that nigga gave him when he slid out of frame was fucking, oh my God, I need that gift, because that is just.
It was like, he basically did her like a Kendrick. Like, I do not like you. And here are the reasons why I do not like nor trust you.
And just like, oh, good luck. Oh, no. Wait, what is that y'all say? May the force be with you.
He used their own line against them. Tell me that's not Kendrick.
It's like.
Tell me that's not Kendrick. Come on.
Yeah, true indeed. Studied your shit and then use it against you. Right.
Ben, let's talk about the biggest elephant in the room, which is actually not an elephant. It's the most, if it is the elephant, it's the most beautiful elephant I've ever seen in my goddamn life. The fighting. The fight scenes.
Look, I know there's to be video breakdowns, but it could be like, and frame by frame, and I don't want to hear that shit. Because this shit was fantastic. It was fantastic on so many levels. It shows you emotion. That's what I talked about. It's like these characters have a reason to not fuck with each other. It's not just two guys slashing each other with swords or whatever. They have history. They have, all this. Even, like I said about Manny Jacinto carrying shit. When that nigga walks up on to Soul and says, we make a great team. Like the sarcasm in this nigga's voice through the helmet. Like, you don't even see his face, and he just delivers that line so well.
It's beautiful acting.
The action, like the way Soul fights compared to the way Manny fights is so ill, because Soul is a Jedi, so everything is, these forms where it's like a samurai, and there's movements, and it's structure, and everything is, with purpose. While Qimir is just out here fighting with rage, with
Man's
passion.
Out of control.
Yeah, it was
It was a real life Soul Calibur match. It was, like you said, it was a samurai versus Voldo. where it's just like, and if y'all ever played
Hell
it,
yeah.
Voldo be every which
All
way.
over the
Like
place.
Voldo could do anything.
Yeah.
Stretch,
Slipping, sliding,
slipping,
flipping.
sliding, dipping and dodging, zipping in and zooming it. Like,
Yeah.
and when I say that
Coming
was
with them claws on that ass.
that was one of the hardest Jedi fights I have ever seen. I mean, hard. It was straight up Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon meets the like anime samurai. Like that ending move when Soul clipped Qimir's saber. Like that whole, you know how the samurai do that, where they do that one dash rush move and they cross over and they don't move for a few seconds. And at first I was like, oh no, he killed him. Because he didn't move, but it was just the saber. And I was like, all right, cool. But that was hard.
Even Qimir's reveal, when he pulls the saber apart to show you how he's got the short saber and the long saber and that fighting style.
Oh my God. And I love seeing it. I love, that's what I love when characters have very unique weapons and you can see them employing that in their fighting style, using it. Like, we didn't just see it happen once when he did the murder on all the Jedi. Like, you see it in full force, him using it multiple times. And then even when he's failing, he's trying different ways to get it around. You understand? Like you said, he's breaking the pieces apart, throwing them like fucking Captain Boomerang, trying to, it was amazing. Anyone who says that fight wasn't hard is lying. It's a hater, and it's cat. That shit went hard.
Even the beginning when they're in the little tunnel and they both drag their lightsabers through the side of the wall, and you see them, the camera's panning along with them, and the lightsabers cutting through, and then they're back at a window where you can see them again. It's like, come on, man.
One of my favorite frames. Go ahead, you go.
Go ahead.
Oh, one of my favorite frames in that fight when they was doing the whole crossover with the weapons and it was pushing against each other back and forth, and then the sparks was jumping off of Qimir's helmet. I mean, actually, and to your point earlier, it looked good.
Oh, it looked beautiful.
Good. The effects look good. Like, they took their time here.
Yeah. No, I rewatched that little sequence that you were just talking about over and over again because it's so ill how their swords did like on basically the wrong side of each other in what is a traditional sword cross. But traditionally, you're going to have your sword and you're both going to be pushing it against each other, but they're basically pulling at each other instead of pushing at each other. And that shit was so fire. Even the kick when Qimir kicked Soul out of the out of the bridge, and there, goes into slow motion.
That's Crouching Tiger.
Yeah, and
came
then
down on him. Yo,
when you talk about like the rage that Qimir has, there's this one right before he cuts after Soul gets some distance between the two of them, and Qimir comes running back at Soul, just swinging his sword, screaming, and it's like that's that full on Sith out of control rage, and then there was a quick cut, and then we come back to them. But that was just
I audibly yelled, "Oh shit!" while they was fighting. Yeah. I was like, "The girls is fighting for real!" Like, it was honestly just one of the best fights I've ever seen for Star Wars.
I was like worried because I love both of these characters at this point, and I didn't know who was to come out of this joint.
Didn't you say that before? A few episodes back, you was like, "It's one thing when they're fighting, you don't care about the characters."
No, that's why it's like, there's a great video, I think of Red Letter Media. They're pretty famous for their breakdown of the prequels. And in it, they explained why it didn't work as well, even though the Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon and Anakin fight is technically one of the illest, lightsaber fights we've ever seen. It still doesn't compare to Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, who are just basically two old niggas in costumes shuffling at each other. But it doesn't compare to when Darth Vader cuts this nigga Obi-Wan down in front of you, and you've been watching this nigga the whole fucking movie, and this nigga gets cut down in front of him, and Luke cries out screaming, like, it's all the emotion.
It's so much emotion and passion, and you're really like, you're into it. You care about the outcome, about, okay, well, who? And also, it's one of those fights where it's not like guaranteed that somebody's gonna win. It's just like, well, what the fuck? Once again, what's about to happen? What's
about to happen? And then, like, even though we wanted Soul to see justice, you don't want to see him get cut down in the middle of this shit, or his head chopped off, or get the 3 poke like Jackie did. Like, you don't want that for Soul. And then you get worse for Soul. You get to watch this nigga get choked out.
The right person ended up killing him.
I mean, was it though?
It's the same person. Mae and Osha, Moesha is the same person.
Yeah, I get it. No, I'm not saying that either, but I'm just saying still, like, did either of them really,
He killed their mother. Why not?
I get it. No, I get it. But it's leading her down the dark path. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
the
moment
Osha met that beautiful ass man, it was a wrap for her.
True indeed.
Now you get to live your life forever with Qimir. Yes, Osha.
She was like, mind wipe this bitch.
That seems like a good outcome to me, right? That seems like a good outcome to me.
She's like, I don't need no competition for this nigga. Like, make this woman forget.
Not that being the reason, Ben.
This is all mine now.
How did you feel about that mind wipe though? Did you see it? Feel it was necessary?
I didn't no. I'm like, why don't you just did? Like I say, it was more like she didn't want no competition.
Well, Mae's explanation or her thing with her fear, she was like, well, they're gonna, because remember that the whole
okay, but no, that's my question right there. Why don't you just get on the ship with us? Like, why do we need to leave you behind here? We can take you somewhere else if you don't want to stay with us.
Well, I only think because didn't Qimir basically say he don't want Mae? Like, he was like, Mae was the wrong one. Like, he kept, and you notice, Qimir kept saying this over and over again. He was like, that was the wrong twin. That was the wrong girl. Like, he was like, I wasn't, I realized
basically, Qimir and Osha want no interference on their love boat.
You're right.
So they're like, mind wipe you and leave you behind. Because they could have dropped her off somewhere else. They could have done it.
Like, she could have just went with them, but they were like, actually, this is an A and B conversation. You need to see your way out. Like, now that you mention it.
This ain't challengers, baby.
Now that you mention it. Child niggas. But, I guess you're right. Fine.
Child. This ain't child niggas.
You saw that ad.
Yeah, amazing.
Listen, what other cool shit happened? Oh, I love during the fight. Well, the end, right before when Osha was going crazy, when she grabbed the saber and it turned red. Like it went from blue to red.
Saber was like, nah.
It was another pit. It was like, well, in this case.
Saber was like, shorty, you evil. I don't know if you realize, but you know what I mean.
And is that how the crystals work? Like based on the user, they change colors?
And Googled. Because I remember this thing is, the crystals did not used to work like that. And then I remember, I think I was on Reddit one day and somebody was complaining like, yo, what the fuck? They made Sith where, the Sith bleed normal crystals red now. That's so corny. And even reading it, I was like, yeah, that does sound corny. And watching it, I was like, it's kind of corny. But then it's also hilariously cool because it's just like, the sabers had enough of your shit. Like, the sabers like, nah, nigga. Red looks much evil. Better on you, dog. Like,
no. You're definitely the bad son here. Like, I got you.
Because straight up, because she had, when she's about to kiss, she had his saber at that point. So it was red.
Mm-hmm. But it was she had soul
Shorty
saber.
Did pick up one. Mae at some points picked up Jedi sabers.
They picked up soul saber, I thought.
Did she pick up even
okay, I could be wrong because wait, let me think about it. When Qimir and Soul were fighting, Soul did the samurai rush and fucked up Chimir's saber, and Qimir basically threw the saber and dropped it to the ground, right?
Yeah. No, and Osha picks up Soul saber.
So Osha does pick up soul saber.
Yeah, okay. I'm talking about, but before this episode, Mae at some points has had sabers in her hand, and they did not turn corrupt. That's what I mean. She was not the good son. She was trying to be the good son, but the good son was always Osha. Osha wanting to leave from the jump is what set this whole shit off. And it's also saying the Jedi are kind of evil. You know what I mean? It's like, Osha wanting to be a Jedi is like, like we said, you didn't want to be a witch. You had all this shit going for you. You were the good son. Mae's just trying to make up for your mistakes.
Oh, wow. Osha's, when you do it like that.
Osha's really the good son. And that's what the saber says.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, that's why, in the end, she becomes the Acolyte. Because she always wanted this. This is what she wanted. And it's like, and even Yoda, I think, warns, Luke about that. Or Obi-Wan warns Luke about that. Like, you're not supposed to be out there looking for adventure and shit. That's not what Jedi are about. Because that's like Luke. Luke's always like thinking of the future, thinking, oh, I wish I wasn't here. And it's like, you're supposed to be in the moment. You're supposed to be living this life. This is, not the idea. Oh, I need to be out fighting and doing, exploring space and all that shit. So all that shit she wanted wasn't what their life is really about. Or it's supposed to be about.
And Osha does say when she talks to her sister, she says, I couldn't become a Jedi because I couldn't control my negative emotions.
Yeah. She was always like this. Wow. I mean,
great point, Ben.
And the thing is, you can blame it on your mom being killed. But again, it's like, it's the same point that I talk about on House of Dragon. It's how, life is going to be hard in various ways. How you react to the cards you're dealt is all you really get in this life. You know what I mean? And so it's like how you react is what matters. Like your mom being killed is one thing, but then, after that you become, evil, student.
Yeah.
Because your mom got killed. Niggas die every day, B. Like, sorry.
I don't blame them because again, like I said, if I got powers or stuff like that.
Well, Tatiana, we already know where you're. We discovered on this during this review.
I'm going with Qimir.
I swear to God, I thought I was the evil one of our two. Like I thought I should never get the Infinity Gauntlet, and I learned that I would probably be, you probably the one like, good shit for everybody, life is great, that's me.
No, you would be there like, damn, I know that's my homie, but I gotta stop her. Like, she wildin'.
Because I'm over here like, party over here.
No, the police would call you and be like, Ben, you need to go talk to her. And you like, and you be like, well, I guess I'm gonna try.
Nigga, I ain't got shit to say. She got the gauntlet now. It's too late. Y'all niggas should have said something when she was collecting stones, nigga.
Go talk to you. That's how they be doing Osha and Mae. Go talk to your sister, please.
Yeah, it's too late for that, nigga.
How did you feel about Mae and Osha's fight? They hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, whatever. After we had Qimir and Soul,
that was like, after. Qimir and Soul was after. Moesha,
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Even before.
First.
Yeah, nah. No, they shouldn't have fought at all. If that's how they.
You didn't like that? I mean, I was looking closely because I was just like, "Yo, is that Mandler really throwing hands?" But then I saw like a lot of
Yeah.
I saw a stunt double, so I was like,
"Yeah."
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to harp on it because it was like, nigga, look like a dude.
I saw stunt doubles and CGI a little bit. I was like, all right, well, And they were doing, and again, the whole mirror image stuff, mirror stuff. They was doing the same moves at the end. They was both doing, it was very anime. It was very anime, and I think that's also another reason why I was attracted to this episode a lot because I'm a big.
But it was like I said, the execution of it, and that's the thing with this show. The ideas have been there every time. It's the execution hasn't always been there. That's what. Right. Shout out to my brother Young Guru. We were talking about that, and that's we came to the same conclusion because he called me tight after like episode 4, I think it was. He was like, "Yo, this show terrible," and we were both just crying. No, we're all on the same page. This is the wildest Star Wars shit we've ever seen.
I've never seen anything like
it's
this.
Either like it's not Andor, which is one of the greatest TV series I've ever seen. Fuck Star Wars, anything. It's just a great first season. It's one of my favorite first seasons of the show ever. This is not that, but this is taking risks. It's doing some different stuff, and some of it, it's like the ideas are excellent, and then some of it, the execution is excellent. So when you combine those two, it's really good. It just needs better execution on some of the ideas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have 3 final questions. 1, are we gonna continue to see Basil dip out whenever something go wrong going forward? Because I would love to keep seeing that.
Sabotage.
That's the one running joke y'all could keep in there. Keep going. Season 2.
I hated Basil at first, but just like everything else on the show,
they keep using him for everything.
Yeah, I need a Basil T-shirt right now, like savage.
Man's knows when to dip.
Just Basil with just like savage written across it.
It should be him. It should be him in running motion with the speed lines behind him. Just knowing.
He's another Wong. Basil.
Oh yeah,
right.
Absolutely another Wong. Wong was right. 2, what's gonna happen to Pip? Pip's still alive. We see Pip.
That's another one I need a shirt
of. They turned him off.
Savage.
Right. Another savage.
I hated Pip too. And now I'm in love with this nigga.
Now you like Pip is funny because of what he did. It was like, all right, you good in my book.
That's no fucks.
3, and really the most important question. At the end, Gamora walked into somebody's office
Ain't somebody, nigga. We know who the nigga is.
I
The
know.
nigga's 600 years old. We know who this nigga is.
She walked in the Yoda office.
Yeah.
And say, we got a problem. We got to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we go from here?
Well, like I say, if they do this as I think they are going to, and I'm hoping that this show gets renewed for multiple more seasons now, at least 2 or 3, this should lead right into a Phantom Menace. Like everything we see here, I mean, because now we've seen Yoda, it's like, so we're 100 years away from it, but with a couple, 20-year time jumps, whatever you want to do, I don't know. We get there by the end of the season. I mean, not the season, by the end of the series. And that's what we're seeing here. But it's also interesting because it really is going to make Yoda look like Guru already has called this man out famously on For All Nerds, but it's to make him look even more garbage. Because now Yoda is the one who's going to know that the Sith were there. So
and covering it up.
Yeah. This nigga is complicit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He a higher level than the way she bows. He obviously a higher level than Gamora. So
yeah, nigga's about to play Have You Ever with Yoda, and it's not gonna be good.
Man.
Yoda got a weird case. Why is he around?
Now, does all of this, does this still feed into the whole power of 2 mandate with the Sith, or is that out the window at this point?
And allegedly, because I don't know.
And then Osha talking about, well, I'm gonna find you, and I'm like, to do what? Like talking to her sister, I'm gonna find you later. To do what exactly? Like, are y'all gonna do the fusion high, or what's happening? Yeah,
and that goes back to, why did she just not come with you then? Like, why do you need to find her when she's right here, nigga? Like,
she said, you say, what's the plan against you? So we're gonna
okay. Also, what is their motivation right now? Like, all the Jedi are dead. The ones that were at least complicit in the death of their mom.
Well, remember, it seemed like Qimir wasn't leaving. Qimir was Denzel. I ain't leaving. I'm leaving here with something. And Qimir looked at them like, one of y'all bitches is coming with me. Y'all decide, but one of y'all's coming with me.
Okay, so she just like, I'll go be evil
She
now.
literally just said, I'll go with you. I'll be your acolyte. So that's why she's there. And then Mae is done. Mae did what she needed to do. Mae's like a simpleton at this point. Like, well, I don't know why. Remember, she said it to Gamora.
Feed us on
Gamora
Monday.
said, do you know why you're here? Mae said, nigga, I don't know. Like, just there.
She straight up said, your last memory is when you were 8. Mae don't know shit.
She don't know nothing.
Nigga.
And then for Gamora to be like, okay, well, I need you to go help me find my friend. She was talking about Qimir. I need you to go help me find my pupil, whatever. And then Mae's like, well, I guess, girl, whatever, let's do it.
I got nothing else to do. I have no life. My whole life has been trying to kill y'all niggas.
I don't know who I am.
Yeah.
Well, she knows she had a sister, but she don't really know who she is. So I don't know. But I'm looking forward to season 2. Please let there be a season 2.
Yeah, I cannot lie. Even after all that I just said of not knowing where these characters are really going. Other than, I guess I do know Osha. Osha always wanted his life. She's always been the good son. And now she's dead.
Yeah.
Mae is just like, I did what I needed to do, and now I know nothing, so it matters not. Like, I guess Mae now has the chance. No, but she's way too old to be a Jedi. If they talk about they wouldn't train her ass before.
No, they said, no, she was too old when she was 10 or whatever.
I know.
They said it 50 times. She was too old.
Yeah, that's hilarious. The Sith don't give a fuck.
No, they don't. Because you can get turned at any time. And especially when you're made of the Force. You're not even a person.
Oh, no, you're like, they need you.
Are.
So that's what I'm saying. The Jet, like, what? Oh, damn, does Shorty not even know that she's made of the Force? Gamora don't even know, right? Soul didn't even have a chance to tell her.
Well, I think remember Gamora, when she went down there, remember she kept getting the ghosts of the Christmas past. She kept getting them voices down on the ground. And then also, who knows, like, I don't know how much Soul reported, but
they were investigating that version when they first came there.
But she had to have known enough to turn around and lie to the council.
Yes.
About what really happened. I think Gamora knows mad shit, and Gamora be shady. I think Gamora.
Yeah, I'm still not sure about Gamora's real motivations either. Like, is she down with? Okay, that's another thing. I'm now that we're talking about, I'm so glad I got to mention this. Gamora's office is decked out in black and red. in the Star Wars universe, when your shit is black and red, nigga, you're evil. There is like no, like she had droids in the background that are black. When you got black droids, they're evil. Sadly, you know that. Look, racism heavy, but yes, if you got black and red in your office, you are usually evil. And Gamora's office was decked out in black and red, and nothing that a good director puts on screen is unintentional.
Yeah, and my thing is I keep drawing on her being so shady and secretive, and it's like on the one hand you're like, oh, she's protecting Mae, but it's like, no, she's using Mae for her own purposes, and she needs to keep that quiet.
Yeah, ain't nobody protecting Mae. Ain't nobody been protecting Mae and Osha since the start of this.
They've been used, and they keep being used as tools over and over again. So at what point did they like, fuck y'all, like I said, and then they fuse together, and then I don't know what happens next when that happens, but
yeah, I don't know. We will see though. Hopefully, because like I know there was a lot of online hate, and I'm glad we got a little announcement to make that, where we can help combat some of this ridiculous, nonsense at least, in a small way. But overall, I really think this show was really good and deserving of a second season.
Absolutely. Shout out to Leslie Headland. Yep. And the whole crew, Kogonada, and a whole bunch of other people who helped with the creation, the writing, the direction, everything. Like they really came up. They really came up and redeemed themselves quite fittingly. And it lived up to what it was supposed to be. And I'm just really excited for what's next. And to the other point you made about the news for us. Ladies and gentlemen, For All Nerds is now Rotten Tomato approved critics. That means, well, first of all, let's say yeah! That means that we are tomato meter certified, which means whenever you're looking at a show or a film or whatever, you're trying to say, well, I wonder what the Rotten Tomato scores is. And, you see a whole bunch of critics and all their scores get aggregated. You see a percentage or whatever. Our voices are now going to be officially as part of that aggregation. So we are to contribute to that percentage that you see, which to Benhameen's point, when we see that something is actually good, we are going to fight against the negativity, the unfounded negativity. When we see something is actually not really that good, we're going to be honest, as we always are. We're going to be honest. And our voices have always counted. We have always been official. It's just going to be mad official now. So thank you so much to, as we mentioned earlier, Joel and Luna and Portia and everyone who has contributed to For All Nerds and helped us get to this point to where we are now. Thank you to everyone who has always supported us, our listeners, the fam, anyone who has been a guest on the show and really rock with us. We appreciate you. And of course, I want to thank my co-host, DJ Benhameen, because without him, this wouldn't exist. Okay? And probably the first prayer, if you will, you know how you at the Source Awards, you got to pray to God and all that first. You got to pray to the Podfather, Combat Jack, because without him, none of this would be here. So, very much thank you and appreciate everyone with the congratulations.
Word up. Shouts to, like you said, you already shout out to everybody who's here. I want to shout you out personally as well, because I always say without you being here, I definitely still would not be doing this show. And since you already shout out Combat, must shout out Dallas Penn and the rest of the Combat Jet show. Also got a shout out D. Chico Leo, Jamie Rigetti, some of the original Fantastic Four, Chico, it's Jeff J. Mad different people who have been here along the way. Shout out to everyone. Thank you so much. And we will continue to be here and continue to do this. It's been a beautiful journey and it ain't stopping. It does not stop. Shout out to Dallas Penn. Shout out to Combat. Shout out to all the listeners. Shout out to the fam. Thank you all for making this moment possible and for all the moments that are coming. Once again, if you've been watching every week, it's been 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away. What is today's date? We are now Wednesday, July 17th. Well, we are actually 1 week away, guaranteed 1 week. There's no changing this one. 1 week away. I'll be, at this time, actually, I'll be on a flight to San Diego for San Diego Comic-Con, where if you're in the area, if you're in San Diego, please hit me up because I will be at Comic-Con at the Titan booth doing signings of Jimi Hendrix Purple Haze. And if you are there at Comic-Con, you can get yourself a copy, which looks like you'll be having it a month before it drops. So you need to be at San Diego Comic-Con to get this joint ahead of time, because you'll have it a whole month before it drops, because it's July 17th. We are now 5
August
weeks away?
August when?
August 27th.
August 27th.
We've had some delays, for those who've been on this journey with me from the beginning. It's been a long journey. We've been working on this book for years now. It was first supposed to drop last November. Then I think July, and it's just been slowly slipping back, due to some production issues, etc., all that type of things. Yeah, it's a hardcover, beautiful, oversized 122-page book. So, a lot of love and care has been put into this graphic novel. So when you do get it, it will be well worth the wait. I was actually just looking at the PDF of it yesterday, and I'm really, beyond proud of the work that we put into this book. Shout out to my brother Mello Brown, the co-author. Shout out to the one Tom Mandrake and Justin Prokovich, who are our artists. And I'm just super happy with this. Shout out to everybody at Titan. Thank you for all the work y'all put into this. And I can't wait. I'm really not ready, because I know a week from now I'm gonna have it in my hands, and that's I don't know. I'm definitely crying. I'm gonna have to make sure I record that, because it's gonna be a lot. I don't, having seen it was one thing, but in my hands it'd be another. August 27th is to be another moment, because that's the day it releases, and we're gonna be at Anyone Comics. We keep having to push that back as well, but we'll be the day it releases, whatever that day it is ends up being. We will have a signing that night at Anyone Comics in Brooklyn. And then I'll be doing some more stuff throughout the rest of the year. But I just know next week is going to be really special, man. It's my first time at San Diego, and my first time ever having my own graphic novel in my hands. So,
love to you and Mello Brown. And just stay tuned. There'll be more on Jimi Hendrix Purple Haze. Hopefully, and again, you'll hear again about the Acolyte. But we appreciate you guys listening to our finale review of episode 8 of The Acolyte, titled The Acolyte, or the Acolyte, as we say. This has been For All Nerds. Thank you so much for listening, watching, enjoying us. Whether you're yelling at the screen with us or against us, that's okay. Put your chats in the comments, but keep it cute, keep it respectful. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed to us on For All Nerds TV, our YouTube channel. We are above 5,000. We want to continue to climb, so please be sure to continue to subscribe. Tell your friend to tell a friend to do that. Hit us up on Patreon, patreon.com/forallnerds, if you'd like to become a patron of this establishment called the For All Nerds Society, where you help us build what is the best in geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color. Also go to forallnerds.com, where you can get amazing merchandise with our amazing, AKAs. We have Gucci Mandalorian, we have Lionel Richie, and some more coming. So please make sure to hit that up. Be sure to follow us on all socials, For All Nerds, FORALLNERDS. Be sure to follow DJ Benhameen himself, DJ Benhameen, or me, Tatiana King, or both, or everybody, whatever you like. Anything else, Benhameen?
No, that's it, man. See y'all next week at Comic-Con. If you're out there, please hit me up. I think that's about it. Oh, yeah. Week after that, I'll be in Philadelphia. If anyone's out in Philadelphia, I'll be there for the opening night party of the Black Star Film Fest in Philadelphia. So nice. That's the week after Comic-Con. Right after I get back, I'm headed down to Philly. So come check me out there. If you're there, I'll be there Thursday and Friday as well. So that's about it.
Dope.
Let's get this Acolyte Season 2 going. Hey y'all, thank you for watching this For All Nerds video. Whatever video it was that you just watched, make sure you hit these buttons below. Press all those buttons, that like, that subscribe, whatever you see right below these fingertips right here. Just hit them.